wait for some people to join. But while we're doing that, I am also going to get ready. So I got to do some setups. I got to set this place up. First, boom, lights. Second, boom, 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 lights. All right. What is going on, Cooper? How's everything going? So, I got my script that I need to go through first. Just gonna put it in order. I also have my shot list. But yeah, you guys are gonna see what it's like to record. Record. That's that. That is that. First, I gotta do one thing. You guys are gonna find this annoying, but sorry, hold on. So if I don't do this, this is so loud. So if I don't do this now, some stuff is gonna happen. So I gotta, if you guys see, look, that's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. It's baking soda. But I gotta clean it. So you guys can watch. Hopefully it's not too loud. What sucks about this tiny vacuum is that you have to like clean it out every 13 seconds. So BRB, you guys can come. Hold on. I know, this is super fun content, but you know what? You know what? We're here. We're here. You may be asking, what are you doing, Matt? So, one of my dogs has a bad bladder, so he has accidents and pees all over the carpet. And what is a good remedy for that is baking soda. You leave the baking soda on for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. It dries it up, soaks everything up, and then you can just vacuum it up. So that's what we're doing. Fun times, I know. Freaking A. There we go. There we go. Problem solved. There we go. There we go. So now, I gotta figure out next things. Alright, so I got my camera. What's going on? What's going on, AJ? Question is, does this mic work? So, I am just getting ready to record a video, and I thought I'd take you guys along for the ride. So right now, getting my camera ready, getting the camera ready. I'm gonna have to set up my shots. Yeah, light up everything. I gotta light everything properly, make sure the camera and the microphone work. And then I gotta go through my script, make sure, I have it in order, That's what it is. So I basically have my script and it's my shot list as well. So it's kind of like bullet points of what I need to talk about and the shot list right next to it of where I want to shoot, how I want it to look. Is it a close-up? Is it a medium shot? So on and so forth. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. What is one thing money can't buy? Good question. What is? It's a good quote that reminded me of Breaking Bad. Who's seen Breaking Bad? There's a quote that Walt said. He says, name one thing that's not negotiable. So, printer ink. E2. VO, yeah. What the heck? There you go. I love it. I love it. No. Meant to be. I'm all sorts of confused. I am all sorts of confused. Let's What's going on with you, AJ? How was your weekend? What's going on, Bubba? How's everything going in your world? Double-sided off. Fuck off. Double-sided. I will kill the trees. You had to dig, or you typically have to dig? How do you dig? With a shovel? Or like a backhoe? Or a pick? I'm doing good, Bubba. Just going through some scripts. I actually just printed something. Guess you guys can come along for the ride. Why not? Why not? There we go. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. See, that's every time I go up the stairs, This printer is so slow. Boom. What is happening? What is... Here we go. Thank you. It is a beautiful guitar. Installing septic tanks, sewer taps, water leaks. To me, that actually sounds kind of fun. You know, I'm not handy at all. I could probably barely use a shovel, but to me that just seems like a lot of fun to do. I wish I was good with tools so I could like build stuff. I think I was telling Bubba this. There's a guy I watch on YouTube religiously. It's called Victory Outdoor Services. And all he does for his YouTube channel is he puts a GoPro on his head and he lays concrete. He like pours driveways and, you know, sidewalks and stuff. And I watch it every other day. Just watching this guy pour concrete. And he kind of like, he talks about his process a little bit, but it's like a concrete vlogging channel. It's interesting. Never in a million years would I have thought that would be my interest. But it is. And I don't know how to, I don't know how to do concrete, but because I've been watching this guy for like 3 years, I probably know a lot about concrete. Go figure. Go figure. Oh, dude, I wish I had an E-kit. I wish I had that E-kit one day. If I go viral on YouTube, I will buy an E-kit. That'll be one of my first big purchases. Thinking. All right, we'll see you shortly, AJ. So I'm thinking this through. So, don't. Could do that, dude, 100%. But this thing, I love this thing. It's a beaut. It takes such good photos and they're so crisp. They're so crisp. The amount of money I spent on camera gear has probably come close, if not more, than music gear. I had to pick the most expensive hobbies. You know? Like, wish I picked up like crocheting or something. Fucking yarn's probably like 97 cents a foot. You guys can see there's so much that goes on. We're setting up a camera ready environment. Fucking A. Like that. Cool. Looks pretty sick. Dude, lighting is driving me nuts. So you guys want to see the shot? I think this looks pretty good, actually. Let's see if you guys can you see that? There you go. I mean, can't really see it. There you go. Pretty cool. That's what it looks like. Dude, the lighting though is a whole other level. Videos, you gotta make it produced. I don't know. Do you guys care about that when you see long form videos? If it looks produced or if it looks lighted well? Do you even notice that type of stuff? Do you even care? You're gonna get a job soon? Where are you gonna get a job? Where'd you apply? Where'd you interview? All the good stuff. Oh man. So much junk. Everywhere. So much junk. So another good rule of thumb. Thank you. I appreciate that, Corey. Another good rule of thumb when you're filming is not have like a bunch of stuff out. You don't want it to look cluttered. And that's like the rules I've learned. You don't want it to look cluttered. Because people don't want to see messy stuff, you know? So, you hide stuff, and you see where things just off. Yeah, totally. You can DM me either Insta. Insta's fine. You can find me at Matt Ewis on Insta. Corey, where are you from? I don't think we've met, or I don't think you've joined us before. And if you have, I'm sorry if I forgot. But yeah, where are you from? What do you do? Tell us a little about you. All right. I like my place to look nice, but also built a fish tank stand. I think what makes it your house. Dude, you made a fish tank stand? What kind of fish do you have? See, again, all you guys are so handy. I need to learn from you guys. I honestly... Dude, what's the last time... I'm trying to think the last handy thing I did where I felt like a man. Probably like changed the battery out of my car. That took like an hour and a half. I'm just kidding. Maybe. Honestly, because I never had like the right frickin' wrench. And then it like can't fit inside. It's a whole thing. Hi Jade, how's it going? Where are you from? All right, let's do, I think what we gotta do is like a little mic check, which is annoying. Because we gotta record and then take the SD card out of the camera, load it into the computer, make sure everything looks nice, blah, 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 blah. Because I haven't used this camera, I haven't used this microphone in a while. I typically use my Blue Yeti over here, right there, and I had that go straight to my computer. Because normally I record right on my computer, so I'll have my camera hooked up to my computer, and that goes through OBS, if you guys are all curious about that. But this time I'm going this route. Tropical fish tank TV stand is cool. You can have people over and have the TV off without looking psycho. Oh, dude. Tropical fish tank. Ireland and a contractor builder, farmer, try pick up a guitar much harder than expected. That is awesome. How big is this fish tank? Like how many gallons? And Ireland, welcome to the channel. I think we might have had like 1 or 2 people from Ireland on this channel. It's awesome that you guys are finding this channel from afar. I'm here in LA, Los Angeles, California. It's awesome that you build things and you're a farmer. I would love to spend like a week on a farm to see if I could hack it. You know? Throw some hay at some cows. I honestly don't know what else you do. Pick up manure. I think I could do some of that stuff. Maybe. 400 gallons. Let's see how. I want to see how big this is. I'm going to look it up on. I don't know how many gallons, what that looks like. I put water tank. It's a fish tank. Oh, wow. That is huge. That's beautiful. Oh, I would love to see what you built. You could also DM me on Instagram if you want to show off your fish tank. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at some of these things. They're just huge. That's also something that I don't think I could handle is owning a fish. Owning a fish in a fish tank. Because there's a lot of work that goes into a fish tank. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe tropical fish are easier because you're not supposed to clean their tank, or is it the opposite? I don't know. But I know one you don't have to clean as often. But still, just cleaning the tank alone and making sure the filters are on and all of that is just a whole other level. Also, maybe tropical fish don't need the filter. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's huge, but my buddy has a fish shop, so oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's incredible. That is incredible. So we are going to do a little test. Okay. Test. Welcome to the channel. Test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Looking at the lens. Test. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Then. Boom. Boom. Dirty. Oh no. I committed the most dumbest mistake. Oh, thank God. I'm not as dumb as I thought. You always keep small things in the same place so you know where they are. Past Matt put this in a different place than normal and gave present tense Matt a freaking heart attack. In case you're wondering, this is an SD card converter. Shysta. Hi, Andrea. I did not figure out the puzzle. Filters. Oh, they. So we're talking tropical fish tanks. Corey has a 400-gallon tropical fish tank, which is incredible. He's talking that it needs filters and heaters. Why do I track anglerfish? What happened? What was your wild adventure? Or wild few days? Dude, yeah, Corey, past Matt does a lot of messed up stuff, and it really frustrates future Matt. Oh, well. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Hold on, I'll show you guys this shot right now. Although I gotta take down one, I gotta take a cup down. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's sick. So sick. All right, so this has to come down. Yeah. Trying to make everything look nice. Make every little thing look nice. This, so, all right. We are almost ready. Oh my goodness. We are almost ready. Watching from England. Hello, Joanna. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Whoa, astronomical amounts of synchronicity. That's tough to say. What about Matt, apart from guitar? What are you into? So, what else am I into besides guitar? I like music in general. Drums is my first instrument. I play guitar as well, just to fit my creative needs. Because I can't play drums all the time. And probably my favorite hobby is actually YouTube, surprisingly enough. I really enjoy, one, I just discovered streaming probably like 2 months ago. Been building this community up, meeting some new people like Andrea, AJ, Shane, Bubba, all my regulars. And then I enjoy making content. Like I really enjoy the filming process. Like this whole process, what you guys just watched for the last 45 minutes of me just setting up one freaking camera, I actually enjoy that. It's kind of, it fits my creative needs. Like I want the lighting to be perfect. I want the camera angle to be perfect. And then, yeah, once I record everything, I love editing. that part is like a whole other creative beast in itself that is just so much fun because you get to unlock anything you want. I don't enjoy filming as much. I don't like filming and sticking to a script. Not that I need to stick to a script, but it makes Future's Matt life in editing world a lot easier. Because if I say the same thing, over 3 to 5 takes, I can, get the perfect take of that sentence. Rather than like me rambling like I'm rambling now, and who knows when I said the perfect take because I'm just rambling, blah, 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 blah. So that is why people go and do a script. Or one of the reasons, anyways. In case you guys are wondering and you're like, oh, I hate this YouTuber, like everything's scripted. Yes, everything is scripted because it helps the process in many ways. What do I have written on those sticky notes? I'll show you. So I have a lot of things written to give me motivation. One thing is you can hit 100,000 subscribers. That is my number one goal on YouTube, is to hit 100,000 subscribers. Mainly because I want that freaking YouTube plaque. That is my goal. Big goal. Next thing is anything is reachable. So that is like my little motto I need to tell myself every once in a while. Like, truly, anything is reachable. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. You just got to keep making steps. Nothing is going to like come for free or, without work. But if you keep telling yourself anything is reachable, it can happen. Next is, if the universe sees you working, it will reward you. So it kind of goes along with anything is reachable. Like, as long as you are working towards your goal, the universe is going to reward you. And this is the other, keep making steps and you will be rewarded. So it kind of just goes along with just keep doing the steps that get you there. They might be small steps and you're not going to see growth in a day or in a week, but over time you keep making like inch by inch steps, and that'll get you to one big goal, which is, for me, 100,000 subscribers. Crazy as it may seem, we'll see. That's why I do all of this. And yeah, and that's exactly, mind is everything, what you think you become. And yeah, that's honestly, like, you keep putting your mind to it, and you have to like believe truly what you want. You have to like almost think that you already have it. So you have to like operate that way, which is way harder than it seems. Like, I should be operating that I already have 100,000 subscribers. I already have that plaque in the, over there on the wall, right next to my guitar or something, That's a great question. I don't really post on Instagram, Bubba, so I don't get too many followers over there. I should have, it's crazy. I don't promote my Instagram on YouTube either. You'd think 13,000 subscribers would come over to Instagram, but they don't. Yeah. I also have like 3 different Instagrams, which you probably discovered when you searched. I have one for my designs, one for my photography, one for my drum stuff. And so I think I got a little distracted on Instagram. Yeah. I don't know. For me, I guess YouTube became a little easier than Instagram as far as like gaining followers or subs. Oh, what is on my YouTube Pro? I don't even know. It's just Matt Ewis, right? I think. I hope so. Yeah, and I also. Yeah, same. Yeah, I also don't promote. I don't buy promotion. I don't do paid media or anything. Um, I should. Maybe I should. I don't know. I'm not sure if that works. You know? I also got really lucky on quite a few of my YouTube shorts that hit like 1 million views. So that really like helped me get so many subscribers here. And I just don't think it translates to Instagram. But I don't know. Dude, yeah, I got super lucky. If you search some of my shorts, you'll be blown away. But shorts aside, it's kind of interesting, the YouTube algorithm. It doesn't really translate. So when I do long form videos, they don't perform nearly as well as my shorts. Oh, interesting. Well, that's good to know. Guitar, yeah. Guitar to this channel makes sense. I honestly should change my name to like just Matt Ewis instead of Drummer Reaction, because I don't do just drummer reactions anymore. I do it all. Do it all. Let's do it live. All right. I also don't know why I have headphones on. I wasn't listening to any music. Sometimes they're comfortable. Oh, that's great. 40K, that's awesome. Yes, last Tuesday I was playing guitar. I play guitar quite a bit live. Because I just kind of like noodle around, whatnot. I think it's way easier to do live rather than. I would never do like a guitar long video or short video. I don't want to do like covers. That's just me. Bubba, I will see you shortly. Oh, good. Perfect. Let it roll. I'm glad that you're drumming so much. Makes me proud. All right. Andrea has to go to bed soon. You're able to pull up tabs and have a blast. At most stuff, things I can only dream of currently. Oh, Corey, you'll get there. It takes practice for sure. You know, a few days a week, half hour here and there. That's especially if you just. I would stick with like one or two songs. I know it gets kind of boring, but just look at the tabs. Get your fingers used to, you know, where to go. Andrea, thanks for hanging out. Have a wonderful evening. Okay. Come on. Jesus Lord. Computer's going slower than. Okay. Let's just do this. Then we'll go view. Cool. Just doing chords, super. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Just keep building that like muscle in your fingers. F chord is probably the worst chord because you got to bar that entire thing. I can't even do the F chord. Honestly, I just do power chords most of the time. I do some like open chords, but mainly just octaves and whatnot. Right. that's that. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I am officially recording. Doing some B-roll shots, checking my hair on this camera. It looks beautiful. I'm gonna do this VO. Do some VO you guys can watch. All I'm gonna do is just talk, say a couple words. Do this. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. And to really understand what's happening, I need to take you back to the beginning, where I was living carefree, making music, and trying to fulfill my dreams. This is the story of one of my bands, City by City. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. And to really understand what's happening, I need to take you back to the beginning, where I was living carefree, making music, and trying to fulfill my dreams. This is the story of one of my bands, City by City. Cool. That's that. See? Easy. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Hopefully it looks good in post afterwards. You know? It's all we can hope for. All right. This is the story of City by City. This is the story of one of my bands, City by City. This is the story of one of my old bands, City by City. It all started on one of those, let's see, it all started with a forum post. It all started on one of those music forum posts. Back in the early 2010s. Back in the early 2010s, finding a band was frustrated. I need a teleprompter. But I could do this. Hold on. Your boy's a genius. Yes, get a new snare. You'll never regret it. Promise. I'll even do snare shopping for you. Let me know your budget. And then message me on Instagram. And we'll find you a nice snare to order. It all started with one of those music forum posts back in the early 2010s. Finding a band was like dating Finding a band was like dating. It was awkward, frustrating. Finding a band was like dating. It was awkward, it was frustrating. Finding a band was like dating. It was awkward, frustrating. Finding a band was like dating. It was awkward, it was frustrating. Where am I? And full of weird people. And full of weird people. I was scrolling through one of the musician forums. Hoping to find people to jam with. Hoping to find people to jam with. Hoping to find people to jam with. That's when I met Matt. Not me, Matt, but another Matt. Matt was a bassist. Matt was a bassist and already in a band. And he invited me to try out as a drummer for his band. And he invited me to try out as their drummer. We had a few practices, but the band didn't last. What did last, though, was Matt and I's relationship. What did last was Matt and I's friendship. Hoping to find people with the same vision. Hoping to find people to jam with that had the same vision and the same drive. So we started searching for our own bandmates. What's up, Tony? So we started searching for our own bandmates. We went through a lot of people. There we go. Let's just cut that. So we started searching for our own bandmates. We went through a lot of people. Some were talented but unreliable. Others just weird. At one point, we had another guy named Matt. Yeah, that's right. We had 3 Matts in one band. Confusing, right? At one point, we found another guy named Matt. That's right. We had 3 Matts in one band. Confusing, right? But eventually, we finally found our guy. He was we found our guy. But eventually we found a guy. No, we found our guy, a guitarist. But eventually we found our guy, a guitarist named Andrew. And that's when things really started to take off. And that's when things really started to take shape. We were actually We were writing actual songs. We were writing actual songs, finding a sound, and building momentum. We were actually writing, oh man, the dog. We were actually, can you guys hear that dog? Freaking A. Oh, what is up, Tony? What is up, Alex? Welcome. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the channel. You should get a drum set, Tony. I highly recommend it. And an electric kit. If you're in an apartment, get an electric kit. Should there be a concert? Do you guys enjoy me recording a video, or would you rather me play guitar? It should be kind of interesting. This would be interesting to me. Watching somebody record a video, it's kind of cool. You guys get to see this video before it comes out, kinda. Right? I'm waiting for this dog to go in. Dog, I don't know if you guys can hear the dog barking. A Yamaha snare. How much? And what's your budget? Yeah, it's like behind the scenes. I would try to get a DW snare or a pork pie. And I don't know. I don't know if you should get anything from Amazon. If I'm going to be frank. I think you should do Sweetwater. Okay, so you're on a budget. I think I see what you're saying. Is it the teal one? If you okay. Here's what I would recommend. Make your current snare last until you can save $300. Do you think you can save $300? It's basically double what you have right now. If you can double your 130, I think you'd be set. $300 snare is like, you're in a good, the snare wires don't work. Are you able to like jiggy it up? I don't know what word jiggy could be, but are you able to like MacGyver the snare wires to be tight? Another thing that you could do is, gosh, I would say go fix the clutch, like have a music shop fix it, but I don't want you to waste too much money on getting that fixed. But maybe just go to the music shop and just ask like how much it would cost, like get a rough estimate of how much it would cost to fix a clutch or change a clutch. But the main thing that you got to figure out is like what can hold you over for, like a month or two until you can afford like a $300 snare. Nice. Zildjian cymbals, Vic Firth. A starter drum. Oh gosh. There's so much that goes into a drum set. So like if you want like a very basic starter drum set, let's see. I think Bubba actually has one of those starter drum sets. But you could get like a starter drum set for like $300, $350. Which will include like all the shells, a throne, some stands. A step above that, you can get a drum set, just the drum set, like just the shells, for like $600. But then you got to start buying, the cymbal stands, the cymbals, the kick pedal, the throne. And each one of those items is like $200. A good cymbal is anywhere from $200 to $300. A good throne is like $150 for a good, like, comfortable throne. A kick pedal, that's like another, gosh, a good kick pedal is probably like $150. And then the stands, decent stands are, $70 each. Yeah, you could also go to a pawn store and just. That was my first drum set. I bought things separately. Like, I saw a snare at a pawn shop, got that for like $50 or whatever. And then I saw like a small tom at a different pawn shop, got that. And then I saw the floor tom at a different pawn shop, got that. And just kind of like built it from flea markets and pawn shops. It was like a Frankenstein kit, and it got me by for a good, like a good year or two, where like I learned and eventually outgrew it. Which Bubba's coming to that point where he's just outgrowing his stuff. Like, things break, your ear starts to like want a different sound, and like you want the sound to sound better and more mature and more like more professional sounding. So you start to outgrow the starter kit, the starter instrument, or whatever it is. So that's where Bubba's coming. He just has to like eventually bite the bullet and buy a nice snare. But he's just gonna have to figure out how to hold himself off to get to that nice snare. And yeah, you can get a clutch from Sweetwater and put it on. I don't know how much clutches are. They could be anywhere from like $20 to $50 if I'm guessing. Yeah, exactly, Corey. It's just like guitars. Like, you could spend $200 on a crappy, guitar that's just like twangy and stuff, and then you buy a, $10,000 guitar, and it's just like muy bueno. Facebook, yeah, Facebook is a great other option to just buy random stuff. Maybe try there, Bubba. See if you can find. Start doing research of what snare you want, and then start searching on Facebook. Or at least start learning like what is a good snare, like what brands are good, what brands are the best, what brands are knockoffs, what brands are, have that middle, or that, I should say, the intro drum to the mid-level drum to the expensive drum, and start learning those model numbers. And then when you go on Facebook, you can go. Facebook doesn't work on your account. What'd you do? Did you sell some bad stuff? Is Craigslist a thing still? I don't think so. OfferUp, there's an OfferUp if you heard that. It's another app. Mr. Best is watching my stream. Who's Mr. Best? Craigslist still exists? Wow. Yeah, try Craigslist. It's an alien. It's a UFO. That's crazy. I didn't know Craigslist still existed. I tried Craigslist or OfferUp. It could probably be harder to find stuff depending on your area. You might have to drive a distance. Behinds. See what you're seeing. So that's an astronaut. That is another UFO over here. And then way over here, that's a bunny. Yeah, I mean, will that help? Yeah, it might help. Try a 3-pound weight, because the clutch might be, if it's, I don't know. You can try it. See if it weighs down. But his problem is the snare wires are not engaging on the bottom. Oh, I'm so smart. I read Mr. Best. It's interesting though. That's actually like it's a thing that people fill in vowels. Yeah, it kind of does from back there. That UFO also lights up, but you have to have like a freaking app for it, and it's just so annoying. You can find a snare. Hold on. Sweetwater has to have clutches. What the frick? You might be right. Dude, my computer is going so slow. What I could do is hook you up with one of my sales reps. Maybe he can find you one. There you go. I found one. Dude, I don't know. They're like... this one's Sorry, they're called throw-offs. The official word is throw-off. God forbid. You know? I've always called them clutches. Am I wrong? Found one. Let me. All right, let me. Do this for you. So the problem with the clutch, if you do buy a clutch, it might not line up with the existing holes. You know what I mean? I don't know if they make them universal, especially like from your kit. Here we go. I'm about to send you a link. There you go, Bubba. Try that. That's a decent brand. Actually, it's a good brand, especially a good brand for hardware. Hardware. The link doesn't work. Son of a. Disaster. Why can't I? Try that one. That should work. All right. Then I got to finish recording this now that the dog has stopped barking. Where did I leave off? Oh, we're doing that part. Okay. Right. We were actually boom, boom, boom. We were actually writing songs. We were actually writing songs. We were actually writing songs. Finding a sound, building momentum, finding a sound, building momentum, finding a sound, building momentum. Dang it. Finding a sound, building momentum. But something was missing. A voice. But something was missing. A voice. We tried out so many singers. We tried out so many singers. Some could barely hold a note. Some could barely hold a note. Others had big energy. Others had big energy. And were a little scary. And were a little scary. We even had a guy ask us for a few bucks to catch the next bus. We even had a guy ask for a few bucks to catch the next bus. We even had a guy ask us for a few bucks to catch a ride home. No, fuck. We even had a guy ask us for a few bucks to take the bus home. We even had a guy ask us for a few bucks to catch the next bus home. We even had a guy ask for a few bucks to catch the next ride home. We even had a guy ask for a few bucks to catch the bus. Oh my God, I can't say it. We even had a guy ask for a few bucks so he could catch the bus home. We even had a guy ask for a few bucks so he could catch the bus back home. We even had a guy ask for a few bucks so he could catch the next bus home. We even had a guy ask for a few bucks so he could catch the next bus home. Then we met Dylan. Dylan was different. He had this vocal rapper style to him. He had this vocal rapper style to him. He had this vocal style rapper that somehow worked. He had this vocal rapper style that somehow worked with our music. When he actually showed up, he sounded amazing. The problem? When he actually showed up, he sounded amazing. The problem? He was impossible to reach. Mistext, ghosted practices. Mistext, ghosted practices. It was like trying to track down a mythical creature. Except instead of Bigfoot, except trying to find Bigfoot, you're trying to find a vocalist at band practice. It was like trying to track down a mythical creature. Except instead of Bigfoot, it was a vocalist coming to practice on time. Except instead of Bigfoot, it was a vocalist who actually showed up on time. Boom. 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 Played metal, so I don't know what you're playing. If it's hard in the middle, then you might have to get a new snare. Yeah, I mean, eventually you're just gonna have to bite the bullet and get a snare. Fortunately. What's like Limp Bizkit? I don't know. Linkin Park? No. Linkin Park is way better than Limp Bizkit. Oh, my singer? No, we weren't like Limp Bizkit. We had like pop punk. I think like State Champs. Or maybe what like Machine Gun Kelly is now with his pop punk stuff. Just kind of more like fast singing, I guess. A lot of words were in our songs. Probably more than it should have been. Still, we kept pushing forward. Still, we kept pushing forward. Still, we kept pushing forward. Even when Dylan was MIA, even when Dylan was MIA, we wrote our melodies. We wrote our own melodies. We wrote our own melodies, lyrics. We wrote our own melodies, lyrics, and vocal ideas. So that when he finally showed up, we just spoon-fed him everything that he needed to know. So that when Dylan finally showed up, we just spoon-fed what he needed to know. So when Dylan finally showed up, we just spoon-fed his parts. And somehow it worked. And somehow it worked. I always wanted to be in a band. Music was my escape. It was the thing that pulled me away. It was the thing that pulled me away from everything else. It was the thing that pulled me away from everything else. It was the thing that pulled me away from everything else. The stress, the uncertainty, the uncertainty, the feeling that maybe I didn't quite fit anywhere else. The fit that I didn't quite fit anywhere else. The feeling that maybe I didn't quite fit anywhere else. The feeling that I didn't quite fit anywhere else. The feeling that I didn't quite fit in anywhere else. I wanted to be famous. Tour the world, and make a living what I was doing. I wanted to be famous, tour the world, and make I wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, and I wanted to make a living of doing what I loved the most. I wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, I wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, I wanted, why can't I remember this? Wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, I also wanted to make a living doing what I loved the most. And for a while, I really felt like we were on to something. And for a while, I really felt like we were on to something. Over about a year, we wrote 7 songs. Over about a year, we wrote 7 full songs. And we decided it was time to record those 7 songs. So we packed up our gear and drove to Las Vegas, where my friend Mitch owned a recording studio. So we packed up our gear and drove to Las Vegas, where my friend owned an. So we packed up our gear and drove. Man. So we packed up our gear and drove to Las Vegas, where my friend Mitch owned a recording studio. We recorded for 4 days. No distractions, just music. We recorded for 4 days, no distractions, just music. We recorded for 4 days, no distractions, just music. The Las Vegas trip was an adventure. The Las Vegas trip was an adventure. The Las Vegas trip was an adventure, but that's another story for another time. The Las Vegas trip was an adventure, but that's a story for another time. Music is meant to be shared. Music is meant to be shared. But what happens when someone else takes what isn't theirs? But what happens when someone takes what isn't theirs? City by City didn't last, but those 7 songs, they did. And years later, I found them again. Only something was off. That's when things got complicated. But we'll get into that next time. That's when things got complicated. But we'll get into that next time. Really don't know Machine Gun Kelly's music. Yeah, the beef between Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly. Honestly, if we're gonna go with the beef between Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, obviously Eminem is the better rapper. He is the GOAT. He is God. But those 2 songs that were in the beef, I want to say Machine Gun Kelly songs were better. That's just maybe it's just a preference. But yeah, that's just hearsay. But MGK did come out with 2 pop punk albums, and I think they're phenomenal. I think he did really well. Some people hate it. Some people think because he had Travis Barker produce it that it's only good because of that. His wife is very lovely. Well, actually, They're not married. I think they split up. So she's available. Let's see how this did. Yeah, I think in a lot of our dreams, all right, so I'm just checking the footage again to see how it came out. He invited me to try out as a drummer for his band. And he invited. Right. So I think now what we're gonna do. Only something was off. Only something was off. That's when things got wrong. Boom. All right. Now what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna record. Sorry. Basically, what I'm doing now is I recorded all of the shots that are gonna be my like office area. And so now I want to record them in other places of my apartment, just so I can like change it up if I want to change it up when I edit. So I'm gonna put you guys over here, and now I'm gonna find like a decent spot to put my camera. But what I do need is man, it is cold over here. backlit. It's all backlit. It's also gonna, well, that might be side lit. That's okay. Yeah, that's good. So it all started back in 2010 on those music forum websites. Finding a band was like dating. It was awkward, it was weird, it was frustrating, and it was full of weird people. And it was full of weird people. That's when I met Matt. That's right, another Matt. Matt was a bassist. Matt was a bassist and already in a band, and he invited me to come try out as a drummer for his band. Matt was a bassist and he was already in a band. He invited me to come try out as a drummer in his band. He invited me to come try out. He invited me to come out and try out as a drummer for his band. We had a few practices, but the band didn't last too long. What did last though was Matt and I's friendship. What did last though was Matt and I's friendship. What did last though was Matt and I's friendships. We just clicked. Matt and I just clicked. We had the same vision, the same drive. We had the same vision and the same drive. So we started searching for our own bandmates. We went through a lot of people. Some were talented but unreliable. Some were talented but unreliable. Others were just weird. At one point we had another guy named Matt. That's right, 3 Matts in one band. Confusing, right? But eventually we found our guy, a guitarist named Andrew. And that's when things started to take shape. We were actually writing songs. And that's when things started to take shape. We were actually writing songs. We were writing actual songs. Finding a sound, building momentum. We were writing actual songs. Finding a sound, building momentum. But something was missing. A voice. We tried out so many singers. Some could barely hold a note. Others had big energy. Others had big energy and were a little scary. We even had a guy ask us for a few bucks so he could catch the next bus home. Then we met Dylan. Dylan was different. He had this vocal rapper style to him that kind of fit our sound. Dylan was different. He had this vocal rapper style that fit our sound perfectly. Dylan was different. Dylan had this vocal rapper style. That somehow worked. And Dylan had this vocal rapper style that somehow worked in our music. When he actually showed up, it was amazing. The problem? When he actually showed up, it was amazing. The problem? He He was impossible to reach. He was impossible to reach. Missed texts, ghosted practices. It was like trying to track down a mythical creature, but instead of Bigfoot, it was trying to find a vocalist that would actually show up on time. Except instead of a Bigfoot, it's a vocalist that actually showed up to band practice on time. It was like trying to track down a mythical creature. It was like trying to track down a mythical creature, only except Bigfoot, you're trying to find a vocalist to show up on practice on time. Instead of Bigfoot, it was a vocalist who actually showed up to band practice on time. Still, we kept pushing forward. Still, we kept pushing forward, even when Dylan was MIA. Still, we kept pushing forward, even when Dylan was MIA. We wrote our own melodies, lyrics, and vocal ideas. We were writing our own melodies, lyrics, and vocal ideas. So when Dylan actually showed up, we would just spoon feed his parts. Him his parts. I'd always wanted to be in a band. Music was my escape. It was the thing that pulled me away. It was the thing that pulled me away from everything else. The stress, the uncertainty, the feeling that I didn't quite fit in, the feeling that I didn't quite fit anywhere else, I wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, and I wanted to make a living of doing what I loved. I wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, and I wanted to make a living of doing what I loved. I wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, and I wanted to make a living. I wanted to be famous, I wanted to tour the world, and I wanted to make a living of doing what I loved. And for a while, I felt like we were on to something. Over about a year, we wrote 7 full songs. And we decided that it was time to record them. So we packed up our gear and we drove to Las Vegas, where my friend Mitch owned a recording studio. We recorded for 4 days with no distractions, just music. The Vegas trip was an adventure. And that's a story for another time. Music, sorry. Music is meant to be shared. But what happens when someone takes it? But what happens when someone takes what isn't theirs? But what happens when someone else takes what isn't theirs? But what happens when someone takes what isn't theirs? Music is meant to be shared. But what happens when someone takes what isn't theirs? City by City didn't last. But those seven songs, they did. And years later, I found them again. Only something was off. Only something was off. And this is where things get complicated. And this is where things get complicated. And this is where things get complicated. And we'll get into it. But we'll get into that in the next one. And this is where things get complicated. But we'll get into that next time. And this is where things get complicated. But we'll get into that next time. And this is where things get complicated. But we'll get into that next time. What's going on, guys? Sorry, I'm not talking much. All right, Bubba. I will talk to you later. Oh, welcome back, AJ. Just finished recording. I think I'm going to record in one more part. I'm going to figure out where I want it to be. I think, yeah. Let's see, I think, shoot this way. Hold on. Take you guys with. I always wanted to be in a band. I always wanted to be in a band. Music was my escape. Music was my escape. It was the one thing that pulled me away from everything else. The stress, the uncertainty, the feeling of not quite fitting in. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to tour the world, and I wanted to make a living doing what I loved. And for a while, I actually felt like we're onto something. Over about a year, we wrote 7 full songs, and we decided it was time to record. Over about a year, we wrote 7 full songs, and we decided it was time to record them. So we packed up our gear, and we drove to Las Vegas, where my friend Mitch owned a recording studio. We recorded for 4 days. No distractions, just music. That Vegas trip was an adventure, and that's a story for another time. Woo-wee! All right. Thank you, AJ. Thank you for the relaxed tip. I think we're done. I think this is... I got all the parts, read the story a couple different times. So this is basically what I was doing. I was reading the story in a couple different parts of my apartment so that I can just stitch it together later. So I'll probably edit this, or start editing this on Thursday. I think it's going to take a while to record, though, if I'm going to be frank. I'm frank a lot. Yeah. So that is what it's like to record yeah, that's what it's like to record a YouTube video. It took me about 2 hours. Second. Time to turn off all the lights. Yeah, that is what it's about. Thank you for joining again, AJ. that is what it's all about. Let's see, we're gonna end the stream fairly soon. I forgot that the Lakers are playing right now. Ooh, 102 to 84. Perfect. Turn off this light. That kind of looks dope. And this back. Just putting the good old tripod away now. Thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you had a good time. A little different. A little different this time around. I think that'll be fun once I start editing it down. And if I don't have the parts that I want, I'll just re-record. Not a big deal. Something tells me that battery died. Oh no. Yep. Freaking A. What did last though was Matt Nicer, a guy named Matt. That's right. And that's when things started to take shape. It was an adventure. It is meant to be. recorded for 4 days, no distractions. Cool. Dude, how sick is this right now? That's dope. Am I right? Okay, we got it. One, I need my water. Where's my water? Dude, how? Good to know. This, here, I shouldn't be drinking a LaCroix right now, but it was for the movie. It's for the effect. You know? Oh, man. I have a feeling work is going to be busy tomorrow. You guys ever have that feeling? Like, oh, work is going to be nuts tomorrow. Just me. Boom goes the dynamites. Well, let me keep that. Boom goes the dynamite. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get going. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Appreciate you. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. What is up, FD? FD. Yeah, so we're going to transfer over these files, which is going to take a little bit. There we go. Something tells me, fuck. Huh. Okay. Hopefully that works. Hello from Brazil. Hello, Angeline Line. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you. Use of days is the best. Just reading comments. Thank you guys so much for joining. We are going to we're just uploading some files from the SD card to my drive. Exciting stuff. Look how dope that is. I can't get over that. Isn't that cool? What do you guys think? Angeline, think? Yosef Days. What does FD think? FD. Does that stand for fire department? I don't know. Anyways, as this is loading, we are going to start ending this stream. I appreciate you guys. We've been on for a long time. You got to see behind the scenes of what it takes to make a video. That took me, gosh, I started at 7, so it's been 2.5 hours where I got my script and shot list ready. I set up lights, set up my camera, got the best angles, got the best lighting. Then we recorded. We recorded in a few different spots in my apartment. I may use them, I may not. We'll see. The thought process is I will record, or I have all those recordings, so now I can kind of stitch the video together. And the thought process is I don't want just to have like a headshot per se. But we'll see. We shall see. I'm excited how it's going to come out. But as this is loading, what do you guys think? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Know that you are a beat above the rest. You can get this shirt on my Etsy store. It is in my YouTube bio. Or you can just Google Matt Ewis Etsy and you'll find it. Anything you purchase, I really appreciate. It is what keeps this channel going. Thank you for everybody that has stopped by. AJ, Andrea, we got FD and Angeline right there, and we got Shane that showed up, Bubba, Corey, awesome talking to you about some fish tanks. Bubba, I hope you find your snare. Who else hung out? Tony. Alex. Yeah, hopefully I got everybody. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. We will see you Thursday. Thursday is the next time I will be streaming. I'll be on at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And I think that's when we'll dive in and start editing. We'll start editing this beast. It's probably going to take a while. It's going to be fun. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.